Welcome back. The second half of Olympus Rises. Go ahead and see what's going on here right now. Apparently, Will couldn't get food in the other 10 minutes that we had for break. Totally fine. Totally okay. Oh, he's just eating. Okay.
Yeah.
Will, what are you eating?
I forgot to put my headphones back on.
Hello.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
Oh my
sounds...
god, Will, that's disgusting.
Why? What the fuck?
What?
Prawn mayo sandwich.
What?
Just...
Oh, okay.
Is that like a sandwich with prawn mayo on it? Or is that like mayonnaise and...
Prawns.
Like, what do you even refer to?
I would just like everybody
prawns
to
as?
witness this.
Okay. Okay, prawns is not mayo here.
No, he types prawns equal mayo.
No,
Yeah,
and then he put a plus
plus.
sign.
So like prawns
Yeah,
is
but
like
I don't
the
know what
little
kind
like...
of Brit math he's doing.
Okay. What's wrong with prawns plus mayonnaise?
What are you eating?
No, so
What
you're
are you
eating shrimp and mayonnaise on a
What
sandwich.
animal even is that in your country?
Yes, you call it shrimp. Yes, prawns.
Because we have
Shrimp.
prawns too, but those are like Louisiana, like you.
Correct.
It's like a different. It's a different
It's not quite a
critter.
shrimp.
First of all, it's still a shellfish.
Yeah,
Yes.
but just like prawns and mayonnaise, and that's it.
With salads, but yes, pretty much.
With
That doesn't sound appetizing.
Megan, please tell us
What
what.
is wrong with you people?
Megan, please tell us what you're eating before I mute Will for disgusting everyone literally on every
Wait.
hemisphere on the planet.
Will, what are you eating?
Prawn mayo.
I know those words separately. I don't know how that
Pretty
works.
much shrimp and mayonnaise on a sandwich.
Yes. Yucky. That's
Yeah.
the first word
See?
that comes to mind is yucky.
What the fuck?
Will, to give you some forewarning, nowhere in the world is it said, "Oh, let's go get some good British cuisine." Never anywhere is that said.
Damn, that was rude.
That's actually not wrong, though, like, to be fair.
Considering that we are the kind of main people for a roast dinner.
Yeah, and your breakfasts are pretty freaking great.
Oh my
I'm not gonna
god, why are you
Minus
eating...
the beans on everything. That kind of freaks me out a little bit. But
Why are
What's
you
wrong
eating-
with beans?
I don't know. It's not that there's anything wrong with it.
Beans good for you. The more you eat, the more you fart. The more you
fart, the better you feel. So eat your beans at every meal.
Exactly.
No, I don't disagree with this statement. I just don't like it together.
We have gone off the rails.
Also,
We're
I'm eating
fully off the rails.
good old American mac and cheese.
Thank
Well,
you, Megan.
thank
Good
you. Yeah.
god.
You're welcome.
Thank you for bringing us back to fucking sanity in this chat.
You're
Jesus.
welcome.
Prawns
You
and
are
mayo.
welcome.
Just.
We love you, Will.
God.
I feel like if I Google that, I'm gonna be put on some list of...
You jammy sauce.
I feel like if I Google prawns and mayo, I'm gonna be put on some list of people to fucking kill.
I'm doing it right now.
Oh,
Who's
God.
that, Sonia?
I mean, I imagine it's like seafood salad, right? Does anyone else know what seafood salad is?
No.
Matt knows what seafood salad is.
Yeah,
I mean,
Our
yeah.
mother used to make it.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like the same thing as that, I imagine. Except with real shrimp.
It's not any better, is it, Matt? It's not any better, is it?
Oh man. Whattocooktoday.com has a recipe for sweet mayonnaise prawns, and I'm fighting down Mayonnaise has no place on shrimp. I'm
What are
just
you
gonna
talking
sweeping
But wait, hold on.
sweeping declaration.
No, hold please. What is tartar sauce then?
It's fucking gross, is what it is.
I
We
That-
can only
okay.
be
So
friends.
like
I don't
Wholeheartedly.
like tartar. sauce.
looking
Wholeheartedly.
at this, Will, there certainly are some that make me want to vomit, like all over everything. However, I guess it is no better or worse than egg salad or tuna salad or
Right,
chicken
yeah.
salad or
Yeah.
anything like that. But
Mhm.
I am kind of with Matt, broad sweeping statement. Mayonnaise and shrimp in particular.
Okay. So
But like
Will,
fried shrimp and
Will,
tartar
here's
sauce,
my
that's
question.
delicious.
Yes.
Okay. Here's my question for you, and then whatever your answer is, I will be satisfied. I'll either be vindicated or we can move on. What did the shrimp come to you? I'm sorry, the prawns. How did they come to you?
Yes, I think this is the
What
vital
was
question.
the packaging? Were they the freaky little ones that like come out of a can?
I mean, they're not those overly processed ones, but
Are they the little wiggly guys that look like I should put them on a fish hook and go down to the pond?
our prawns are the tiny
The wiggly
shrimp you have, yeah.
bits.
I don't know what you mean by wiggly bits.
I think my favorite phrase that Will ever says in ever anything is, I don't know what you mean by. So I'm gonna link something in chat and then we're done with this conversation. Will, is this a real product?
I mean, yes.
Okay.
It is
Conversation over, you're getting muted in Discord forever.
Listen,
So-
he didn't invent it.
Oh no!
Is that-
prawn mayonnaise?
Is that flavored mayonnaise?
Yes.
Wow. That's hardcore, man. I can't even get my
Excuse
head
me.
around.
You only
You're-
need to look at half of some of the things you guys serve, and I think I'm far more vindicated in my arguments.
I think the best part about that statement, Will, is we don't really have there's no such thing as American food, really. We just steal from everybody else.
Oh,
And then make it
No.
much worse.
Right.
think-
Yeah, exactly.
no,
steal
you
it
have
poorly.
American food. You take what other people can have as actual food and then Americanize it into this ungodly mess.
I would like to
it's
say
bastardized food.
that's
It's
still
what it is.
other culture food. I'm just throwing it out there.
But we also
Well-
have delicious products like goldfish.
Yeah. I put an example in Discord of the wiggly bits I'm referring to.
They are not really bits. They are.
Look at them.
actual
They're like
prawns.
little pink. They're little bits.
Yes, because they've been de-shelled and beheaded. Like, what do you expect?
Is this?
Let's do some space stuff. Let's do some.
Yeah. Oh
Been
man.
talking about little bits for 10 minutes.
This is
There
Will-
you go,
Will,
Jordan. Because I
you
was like,
eat-
people are
you
missing
eat
out on
whatever you eat whatever makes you happy. I'm not. I'm. One day maybe I'll be cultured enough to enjoy a nice prawn and mayo.
no,
Prawn
not me.
flavored mayonnaise sandwich. Yep. Okay.
God,
Uh,
it's a prawn-flavored mayonnaise sandwich. It's
that's
prawns.
basically what it becomes in your mouth. Am I wrong?
Everything becomes poop when you eat it. So how can that argument be valid?
Shay.
Uh,
But you don't want to start with that. You
Right,
wanna work
yeah.
toward it.
Right. I don't want the starting product to be what comes out.
That's like, well, it's gonna be shit anyway, so I might as well just eat shit.
Right. Yeah, that's
Let's
that argument.
move on. Let's move on. There's never going to be a satisfactory ending to this. We're too dug in. We're too dug in.
This is
So
good.
3
I
days
love
pass.
this. Uh-huh.
It's
So the crew argues about prawns for 72 hours.
It's the 18th of September, and you arrive at the Danae system, which is a fairly uninhabitable system, all things told. Even the single lived-on planet in system, by the name of Tusser, is nigh uninhabitable itself. Besides the fact that apparently, somehow, in some way, millions of inhabitants have survived through not only the silence, because this is a planet that was inhabited pre-Scream. Not only through the silence, but also the effects that the Scream had over the planet. And so, in doing so, it becomes it has become an interesting oddity within the sector. The most unique aspect of it is the freak weather. And this freak weather is generated by the hyper unnatural gravitational waves that both emit and contract towards the planet at any given time. Now, an interesting aspect about this is inside of the atmosphere of the planet, which is a breathable mix. Inside the atmosphere of the planet, the effects are highly dampened the further away from the magnetic poles that you get. So it is still livable, but you have to get down there. You can actually see, relative to the picture that we see there, the gravitational waves pushing and pulling and spinning the planet around. Now, the interesting thing about this particular planet as it orbits around its star is the fact that on this particular planet, with these gravitational waves and this crazy things going on, the effect that is shown is in the seasons, where seasons are determined by the time of year where the gravitational waves are either spinning the literal planet faster or slower than it normally is. Days lengthen and shorten based on that particular factor, not how it works on Earth, where as we rotate on our axis, we tilt forward and back to gain longer and shorter days. So it's super unique for scientists to study how this actually interacts and works. It is unclear when or why this phenomenon occurs. Unclear. It is definitely in the scientific circles of things, especially probably for Dr. Fisher, you've probably learned like some basics about this when you had to take, planetary studies in college, or university as they're called, I'm sure. So all in all, it has a strong scientific community kind of around it and in it. However, due to the representative freak weather that exists on this planet, it is a little bit cut off from the rest of the sector because it's actually highly dangerous to fly in and out. There are generally very, very small windows in which it is safe to travel in between the planets. Sometimes big enough only for like a single large freighter to either make it into atmosphere or like, a couple of larger cargo ships to make it into atmosphere before it becomes seemingly too dangerous to do again. The biggest danger about these gravitational waves is obviously shearing your ship in half is certainly something that can happen with them moving at different speeds all around you. Another thing is, because of this, it has pulled a lot of the surrounding debris, asteroids, anomalies, what have you, that kind of fly around at a rapid rate inside of these strange waves that expand and contract from the planet. So they don't receive much in the way of outside resources, which has caused them to become somewhat insular and somewhat self-dependent. Obviously, deliveries are still made. In this day and age, no planet can really sustain a TL4 society without having some amount of import from somewhere else. So deliveries are still made and products are still manufactured and exported, although it is much rarer than it is basically anywhere else in the sector. That being said, a recent development has come up on Tusser, where large quantities of Red 5 have been found. And when I say large quantities, I mean it appears that because of, the scientific studies don't really take place on the surface, it appears most of this planet's crust is actually made up of Red 5 ore. If strip mining on a planet-wide scale were a thing that is available, this would be ripe pickings. So it's been a veritable oil rush, gold rush, whatever you want to call it, for these companies to get to this planet to harvest the ore, to go through the governmental agencies to get plots of land. And it's everybody, because it's so easy to do, because it's very bountiful, there is an aspect of amateurs who are going into it, just like what happened in the gold rush, right? There are, on top of the millions of inhabitants that are already there, who kind of just want to keep to themselves, there are additional millions of individuals who want to go make money, because Red 5 is a very valuable resource right now, and has been since its creation. And the other thing here is, currently there's only one other large-scale operation of mining Red 5, which we all actually encountered over in, I believe it was 0103, right? Yeah, on the Eurymedon planet. That's the only other large-scale harvesting of Red 5. So, this kind of being introduced into the fold causes both a lot of complications for the companies currently working at Eurymedon, and also boon to those more cutthroat businesses who can afford to take some risks and get on planet. So, when you arrive in system, the reasonable amount of spam and normal things that you would receive come into each of your compads, and I assume you just auto-delete most of it. Some things that pop up here that are unique, though, are many advertisements for help wanted, mine worker wanted, work available, competitive rates, benefits. There's a lot of wanted ads within the spam that exists here, for a lot of people to go work for these amateurs or these companies that are mass hiring so they can get it on the gold rush on the ground floor. A couple of other unique things is there does seem to be a general docket that is sent out to all ships that enter the system to kind of give the 311 on the culture of Tusser. Tusser is a fairly peaceful haven for individuals, and especially the local residents, to come and enjoy life and lead a good, hardworking life. And it's a good place to retire as well. It's advertised as a wonderful like calm, collected community, which is completely opposite of everything that you guys know is currently happening on the planet. And so because of this, there's a lot of turmoil between the locals and outsiders in particular, but mostly the locals and these large corporations, which they never had to deal with before because they were content with just nobody being able to get to their planet, really. So that's kind of the sit rep on Tusser as you guys approach it.
So we get like a slew of email, like requests and advertisements and so forth, like basically representative of an opportunity to do most of the things that you just described?
Yeah, absolutely.
If we sought them out? Okay, cool.
Yep, absolutely. There are need for, cargo haulers. There's need for miners. There's need for, ferry pilots. Everything that would be involved in a large-scale mining operation is available here in spades.
Sweet. Yeah, I think, as we're coming in, Oscar's flipping through those and, just taking note of what opportunities are there.
Cool. So, as you come closer to the planet, whoever's at the comms station begins to your comm traffic signal. So you can detect when comms are going off around the ship, even if they're not really intended for you, right? Because it's just basically radio waves for the distance to distance. Chatter begins to increase tenfold. In fact, it appears there are a couple of public open channels that are just broadcasting things. And the noise becomes very heavy the closer and closer you get to the planet. And you realize that based on the estimated number of signatures you are receiving, Dr. Fisher, you would say there is no less than perhaps 3,500 ships that are in far distant orbit from the planet.
That's quite a lot of ships.
Yeah, it's a hell of a lot. In fact, it's crowded. I think that when you guys get your first glimpse of the planet, it's so crowded that you can perhaps see the glinting of the Red 5 ships or the steel ships or whatever they're made out of, the plasteel, kind of sparkling as additional stars kind of all around the planetary atmosphere. So, as you begin to approach closer, you finally, and I think that you get up to where a lot of these other ships are. You're kind of trying to assume a very, very high orbit. You got the message in the original advertisement for the planet, where the safe distance is to stage and wait for approval or wait for the timing to come in and enter. And so you position yourself kind of at that limit, and you can see that there's not a whole lot of space left. At least safe space. Obviously, ships can be much closer than they are in space, but in space, 100 yards is right up your butt. Just because you don't have a whole lot of leeway there when it comes to maneuverability and stuff like that. And I think that you're kind of just waiting there, and everybody's probably looking around, and then finally you get a message, a message from the planet. And you open it up, and it says, "Welcome to Tusser. We're glad you could come and stay today. You are currently position 2,352 in the line. We'll be with you momentarily."
Oscar groans audibly.
So I think we may have to wait a while.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go back to my room and find something to do.
Any of those listings catch your eye, fortunately?
Yeah, I'm gonna filter some of those and see what we can find. Maybe find someone who posted a rate they're willing to pay for delivery.
Remember where we're headed.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he just leaves it.
Yep.
Oscar's going to do the same.
Okay.
Fisher, is that that number going to tick down, or are they going to update us, or
Roll me a luck
do
save,
we
Fisher.
just wait?
Well, I certainly
Come
hope it's
on.
not going to increase.
Perfect. So, you see, like, you're all kind of standing there, and you turn back and look at the message, and it's kind of just like flashing on your screen, right? You see in front of you, 2 or 3 of the ships that are like kind of in the general vicinity. You see them spark up their engines and just beeline it, like they're hitting maximum impulse and like 0 to nothing, and beeline it for the planet. And then you'll see, like, the message pops up again and says, "Howdy. Just an update for you. You are currently positioned 2,235. In line. We'll be with you momentarily." You are stuck in the inevitable traffic jam.
The gravity jam, space jam. What do you say?
Space. In fact,
Welcome
we're in
I,
the space
Jam.
I might say you are
Alright,
stuck
alright,
in the
alright.
space jam.
That's awesome. And
Come
also
on.
not awesome.
So, Go-Go. How do you feel about all this?
Fuck this. Kuko's not waiting in a 2,000 line. That's not happening.
Can she see gravity? Can she fly us around murder waves?
She has
I
a
mean,
mind to try.
She's certainly gonna try.
Well,
Okay.
I don't know that I have a mind to stop her.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably be like, oh, well, this is happening. Okay. And then I'd probably pray.
Hey, Jordan,
Yeah.
as Gogo is considering this, do I feel like any tingling at the back of my neck?
Well, Go hasn't told me she's doing anything within the next 60 seconds, so no, not yet.
All right. Oscar
I feel
remains
as though-
Oscar remains in the
as-
cockpit.
As though, so I will say that Gogo's been very quiet.
Right,
while
yeah, no.
receiving
I
this
think that's...
information. So all of you probably know she's thinking about something.
Yeah, that's why I prompted you.
That-
I imagine Go-Go's like sitting in the seat, like hand still on the steering wheel, like just watching the view screen very intently.
Mm-hmm. She's like running the odds in her head.
that may or may not be why Fortune left. So I don't want anything to do with this. I'm gonna go somewhere else.
She's getting antsy unless someone tells her not to.
Oscar is only going to intervene when he feels it's appropriate to do so. So I think he maybe if not intervening, he notices Gogo's like white knuckle on the helm there, and he says, "You know, I can see the gears turning in there."
Slight turn of head towards you.
It's like, what are your thoughts exactly?
Well, if I can time it with watching the other ships go in. She's kind of like trails off, mumbling to herself.
About what I suspected.
Can I please just state, for the record, for all parties to hear, that I am completely against whatever plan you are planning at this exact moment in time.
Dr. Fisher, you don't trust
Just
my skills?
as long as everyone knows that, then fine.
Yeah, so, Dr. Fisher, you see a bing, and somewhere on the other side of the planet, it's their turn, and you see the number go, howdy. Well, looks like that was the last run of the day. You are currently 2,315 in line. Don't worry, we won't lose your place. See you tomorrow.
Fucking jettison the stores. We're going to find other work.
You say from not in the cockpit anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Wait,
rip
what?
Fisher's
How can
goals.
you close a planet?
Well, it's not so much how you
I
can
mean-
close a planet. It's
which
how
I
much
guess is the
wreckage would you
galaxy
like to end up
reference.
on the planet is really the concern here. You have to remember, they're not used to dealing with go-go levels of piloting. They need, like, every Joe Schmo and their mother need to get through safely. There are probably other ways to get on the planet. Tighter windows that they're not offering. You know.
But you also did sort of kind of describe like gravitational tornadoes,
Yeah, no, that's a good description, I think.
and that sounds scary.
Gravinados.
Yeah, Gravinados. It's the new Sharknado.
Oscar turns to Fisher and he says, Fisher, are there any other channels that you can open? Surely there's either official access or something for more apt entry, more apt pilots to enter. This seems like the equivalent of a toll station here.
Yeah, so let me try to go through some channels. This is Boatface with a delivery.
Who are
Permission
you
to-
calling?
I mean,
Are you just
Anyone that will
sending like
listen to our
a
plea.
broadband open mic? Like,
pretty much.
okay.
Do I have to make another look?
No, I think that I think there's an actual role here, Dr.
We're gonna
Fisher.
get boarded and murdered if you think that's who we are.
I
But I'm not gonna metagame that.
Yeah, no, Dr. Fisher, can you give me a good lord, what is this check? Oh yeah, give me a bureaucracy check, obviously. With charisma though, because you're like literally trying to convince the void to give you a sun pass lane.
I mean, I've got a 0 and my charisma's 1, so
Hey, not bad then.
You also have a reroll with that 5.
I do have a reroll, which I'm most certainly gonna use.
Double 5 incoming. Oh no, okay.
Yeah, 11.
Nice.
Okay. So your 11 gets you this. You send it out into the void, and there's a pause momentarily, and then you get a ping with like a private message. Then you get another ping, and then a ping, 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 and you receive approximately 350 around about there messages from other ships. And the variance here is they are anywhere from offering to sell you their space in line, to offering to sell you some gravitational maps where you can enter in better. They are selling you some. There's probably some that are selling you the location of some scrap yard areas where you can make some extra money. There are probably some selling you like it's just a fuckload of advertisements for everything besides any governmental answer. You receive zero information at all from the Tucson government.
Brilliant. Well,
You're in orbit with 3,500 other people exactly like you who just want to make money.
well,
But
we
hey, they
certainly have opportunities to kill some time if we wanted.
Oscar is just kind of milling about, and he says, "Go, what do you think?"
He's like, how much were we supposed to make on this alcohol again? Asking anybody who knows that information actually in real life.
That's where is my notes? I don't think I have an actual number.
Yeah, so you were to make 15K on this, plus a speedy delivery bonus. Of
that bonus isn't getting
undetermined amount.
Because
Well, I
we
mean,
just
another
sell
evening may not
this for like
make a
10 grand, like here, and then be on our way.
I mean,
the original contract holder might be a little upset with that, but
who is the
who
original
haven't we
contact
made
holder?
upset?
You don't know, but you were told when you picked up the mission that it is that I mean you're shipping imported alcohol to a planet that can literally kill you for flying into it.
Yeah.
You were told that the individual paid a hefty sum and really wants this stuff. But you were not given a name specifically. You were just given a destination.
So we don't have a contact even once we get to the planet?
Well, no, we have a drop-off location, I'm sure.
Right.
But
And that's associated with...
It's associated with your bill of lading, right?
Yeah.
so I think Oscar says, out of self-preservation, perhaps we should wait for them to start the cycle again and tail the first person in we see leaving. At least then we'll know that it's relatively clear. Go, if you can manage not to rear end them, we'll be good. And he kind of like he looks around and he's like, waiting for anyone to say otherwise.
I think you see Gogo's like hands ungrip the wheel. She's like, well, then I'm taking a nap. She's like, she just completely leaves the cockpit.
It looks like we have an evening then before they reopen it. Is that accurate, Jordan?
Yeah, so their evening, which is probably about 8 hours during this time of year.
Yeah, we can wait 8 hours.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
I mean, what is our estimated time of waiting? After
So
it's
you know
opening up?
when you go to download something and you're waiting on the estimated time and it's just got the hyphens and then the colon and then the hyphens. That's what your estimated time is.
Yeah, it says something like 16,000 years because it's actually stopped.
Right.
Like it's not making progress,
exactly.
So it can't estimate.
Yep. That is precisely correct.
It's got the Windows Millennium era estimation.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
or those weird uTorrent things where it's like, yeah, it's gonna take you 16 years. Like,
yeah.
Excuse you? Yeah.
Yep. Oscar says nothing and then just essentially follows behind Gogo several moments after Like, it's just gonna go get some food.
So
Relax
Fisher,
a bit before they have to go through all this.
that leaves you, right, in the cockpit all by yourself. And you pull out your compad to check your own messages, and you actually have a message. It's blinking. That wasn't part of the spam. And
Yeah.
you open it up, and you see a familiar symbol, and below it says, "We have another job for you if you're interested."
But what's the symbol? What's the symbol, though?
I don't know. Maybe if Oscar was there to look at it,
God damn it.
he would be able to tell what the symbol was on Dr. Fisher's personal compad.
Which he always keeps in his breast coat pocket.
Oscar is everywhere always, though. So
No, Stanley is everywhere always. Until you can
True.
read it.
Did you cut out for me?
Did I? Hello?
yeah, Jordan
Hello?
I've lost
just
Jordan.
ghosted on us.
Oh yeah.
Hello? Hello?
Hi.
Hello.
So
My Discord has been doing this thing. You can ask Megan. My Discord's been doing this weird thing where, like, it won't give me any indication, and then it just stops working. Whatever.
that's peculiar.
What was the last thing you heard?
You were just about to tell me what the symbol was.
No, actually, I was telling you that Stanley sees all, and until you can read his mind, you don't get those powers yet.
Okay.
Well, now you know what his next goal is.
Practice your mind reading.
You know that's already built into Arc 2, but yes.
Will, as a player, you know the symbol I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Good.
What we
Yes.
talked about
Yep.
earlier.
Correct.
Yes.
And I think that it says, like, you know, should you choose to accept it, and it gives you a couple of locations in where you could meet for more information. But also replying is a totally valid option as well. And I'm gonna message you those particular locations.
Okay. Sure. Yeah.
Um,
That seems fun.
and I think that there's like a PS, and it says payment doubled if you can maintain secrecy.
Brilliant.
It's Secret Agent Fisher.
You act like he hasn't been Secret Agent Fisher the whole time.
Dun dun dun.
Exactly.
Or am I actually a secret agent, but a double agent? Or am I
Dun,
actually a
dun,
triple agent?
dun.
Or am I just a double agent that's lying about being a triple agent?
Oh boy.
Are any of those possibilities entities that can get us onto this planet quicker?
Otherwise, we don't
Um,
care.
Probably not at this exact moment.
Probably not this exact location. So you receive that, and I assume maybe tend to the cockpit a little bit more, but go about your business.
Yeah.
So my next question is: are you guys going to attempt your sneakaroonie on the next day? Next time it's available and open?
Well, I don't know what anyone's actually going to do, but yes, that was the crux of Oscar's suggestion, was sleep it off, and then first thing when they open it up again, or second thing, you know, wait to see what the pattern is and then just tail somebody.
Okay.
Whether or not our faithful pilot chooses to act on that plan is not under my control. We shall see what happens.
So, the day passes. Anyone do anything particularly interesting?
Well, maybe. I'm working on filtering out emails to find an actual decent job and not spam.
Yeah, sure. Roll me a business roll with intelligence.
I can do that.
Are you looking at
Yes.
the items that came in Dr. Fisher's bureaucracy check too?
Sure.
Okay, yeah, just curious because like those are out here types things.
Yeah. Wow.
Nice, a 10. So it seems like everything is pretty competitive. It seems a lot of selling to the lowest bidder, and because everything is so competitive, a freelance freighter or a freelance worker has a little bit of less of an opportunity
Okay.
to make a shitload of money here. Simply
Yeah.
because while there is a lot of supply, there's also a lot of, or I should say, there's a lot of supply of people exactly like you who are
Okay.
willing to do jobs for less money.
Yeah.
So it's driving the price down for freelance guys. You do notice that there are some like significant signing bonuses for signing on with certain of these companies, but
Okay.
kind of like signing on with Westwind as well. None of them are quite
Yeah.
that big, however. And there's like a no compete clause and all this other stuff, like your cargo is going to be regularly monitored. Like there's a lot of regulations that come with those certain things because they're hiring people off the street to carry extremely valuable items halfway across the sector.
Yeah.
So for obvious reasons, there's some needs there. There's also appears to be on most, if not all, like extensive background checks.
Okay.
And one of the first things somebody will check is, do you have a bounty on your head?
Are there any active contracts?
Right, yeah. That's like one of the first things that will occur.
Sort of makes you a risk to their property.
Right, exactly.
Got it.
Down to things even like, where do you currently work? If you guys were to say Westwind, they'd be like, they're having some problems right now. Maybe we don't want to risk our stuff on your ship.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of it's certainly doable, but also would take a lot of effort. The jobs out in space, or at least the offers, I should say, not even jobs, the offers out in space are varied between wildly folktale and myth, lore, and legend to seemingly reasonable, pay me this much, here's a screenshot of my current position in line. I'll give you that, you give me yours.
Okay.
Really simple, like, curtail stuff. But stuff like that is actually very expensive. There is very obviously people who are here with the sole purpose of selling their spot in line for a lot of fucking money and then just leaving.
Fucking
Fuckers.
scalpers.
Right. Exactly. Fucking scalpers.
Fucking scalpers.
Granted, they have to wait until their current number becomes more valuable.
Yeah.
But what do they care? They're just gonna hang out and party on their ship till then with all of their bajillions of credits. And you can see too that because this line has become such a big deal and long, there are literally like merchant ships that are just selling their wares out in space. There's like the equivalent of like dining ships that have come and set up so that people who are running out of rations or whatever.
Space food carts.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly correct. There's space diners and food carts just kind of sporadically throughout the upper atmosphere, the outer atmosphere, if you were. I shouldn't even say that. It's not even in the atmosphere. It's the outer ability of this planet to hold in orbit. So yeah, there's a whole subculture that's kind of being cultivated out here of all of these swindly business dealers and all of that. there's even people like selling plots of land on the planet out here. Because obviously some of these people are not coming here to drop off goods to pick stuff up. They're coming here to like buy some land and cultivate it, right? So there's people who, of varying degrees of legality, selling plots of land and, you know, business licenses and, you know, import-export licenses and that kind of shit too. It definitely has the air of becoming highly criminal very quickly.
Okay.
On most of the things. But essentially anything you could possibly think of, what I've mentioned and things that I haven't mentioned that could possibly be in a situation like this is basically here.
So this is it. If it looks like we have, you know, some moments of downtime, I think, you know, this is an ancient planet. They've been here for a very long time.
Yes.
Oscar is gonna do a little digging to see if there are any martial arts camps on planet.
Sure.
Like surely there would be some record, even if it's not like, come on down, join up and take a class.
Right.
Like there's
Come
gonna
take
be some...
taekwondo at this
Yeah,
location. Yeah, sure.
That's not what he wants. He's looking for like something maybe more historical.
Yeah, something perhaps a little bit more legitimate.
Yeah, not like Mall Ninja, that kind of thing. Like
yes.
like a big open space in a strip mall.
Hell yeah, fucking mall ninjas, man.
Yeah. So what could I justify rolling to?
So I think that because this planet doesn't have a lot of information public, or at least, you know, produced on the net, I think it's going to be a computer's role here. To kind of get into what's going on. Obviously, you could enlist help if you wanted to.
Yeah. Yep. If he determined that was the only way he was going to be able to go about
yeah,
it,
because it's not like like you've never been here, right?
I don't think I have any reason to justify having been here.
The other harder role would be a culture traveler role, but like it'd be two tiers higher than the computer's role would be, because it'd be based on your knowledge of the planet and what you've heard, right?
Yeah, and I don't think necessarily that spacer applies here.
Yeah, unfortunately not. But you could certainly go to Fisher and enlist his help to find a dojo and a senpai. I mean sensei.
No, notice me, sensei.
Exactly.
Yeah. He, you know, after maybe he like does a lap around the ship and decides he's not really tired enough to sleep or something, and then he winds up back in the cockpit. He, you know, pretty straightforward to ask Fisher, we appear to have some downtime here, whether we decide we're going to do something rash or not. Would you mind assisting me in something, Fisher?
Yes. What can I help you with?
I still feel I require training. I feel as if I'm growing rusty. All this traveling, you know how it goes. I was wondering if you could do a search on planet to see if there are any dojos, facilities, groups of relevance. You know what I'm asking, right?
Yes. Here, let me see. There doesn't seem to be a direct database, but I could probably create one just from listings of the millions of search results.
perhaps search specifically for sword arts. Historical
narrow
leads
down
would even help.
That'll narrow down the searches. Let me. As I assume I make a computer.
Meg got it. Meg got it. Searching for sword arts online.
Hell yeah, sword arts online.
Meg got it. Thank you, Meg.
You're welcome. Anytime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anytime.
So you want to make a roll there, Dr. Fisher?
Yeah, computers int. Would
Yeah.
you say?
It's going to be computers int. That is correct.